Here's the thing about high achievers like us, yeah. We're really good at learning, right? And whether it's learning through our own study or being taught by a teacher, my clients have above average intelligence and generally the qualifications to match. Not that formal qualifications are the only measure of intelligence, but that's another conversation. My point is, to truly remember who you are so you can quantum leap into new levels of reality, it generally takes unlearning everything you've been taught about how to achieve success and to relearn a new way of being. And for a lot of high achievers, I know that that can feel really difficult. Even though I'm consciously creating the identity of myself that I choose to be, I also know that to some degree, part of my identity is tied to being someone who obtained a first-class honours bachelor's degree and an MBA with distinction. So I'm not suggesting that we should deny those things about ourselves, but I want to open up the possibility that there's actually a lot more to us than our academic or professional achievements. And there's also a lot more to us than the amount of money we have in our bank accounts or the home that we live in, yeah? Because all of that is just the tip of the iceberg of what's available to us when we unlearn that we have to stress and struggle to build success and happiness. So before I get into it, a great way to start doing that is with my free 14-day mini course, Rewire Your Brain for Aligned Success and Lasting Happiness. You'll find the link in the description. Because here's the thing, right? If you've been taught that the only way to get ahead is to work harder than the next guy, then a limitation has been placed upon you, right? Because what happens when you just can't work any harder? And what happens when you run out of hours in the day? Does that mean that you've reached like peak success and nothing more is available to you? Yeah, that's not a reality I choose to adopt. It's a fact that there's always going to be people on different points of the path, yeah? Some ahead of you in certain areas and some behind, and that's just normal life. But it doesn't need to define your fulfillment or sense of achievement. For instance, there's always going to be somebody richer than you, yeah? So what? Are you not going to allow yourself to feel satisfied with your life until that isn't the case, yeah? The judgment of comparison that we're brought up with keeps us on this hamster wheel of achieving without fulfillment, especially as a lot of high achievers aren't actually living the life that they would have chosen for themselves, yeah? They expertly followed the rule book that says that you get good grades at school, you work really hard in a financially stable career, you get married, you get the house, and you keep working until you retire, and it's only then that you're allowed to do what makes you happy. But the truth is, if you make your number one purpose in life to follow your happiness, to follow the fun, and to follow the easeful, intuitively led, aligned action, then you'll be more successful than you can probably even imagine right now. You weren't given this human experience to suffer and struggle. When you become the master of your nervous system and energetic frequency, the world opens up for your greatest potential to become a reality. Your brain's reticular activating system and your default mode network exist to bring you everything that you deem to be important, but you have to tell it what's important to you. Yeah, you have to direct your focus on what you want rather than what you don't want or even your current reality. If you're telling yourself that you need pressure to thrive, then you're going to find yourself under more and more pressure, so you're able to thrive in the way that you believe that you have to. If you're focused on needing to prove your value and worth, then you're going to find yourself in situations where you need to do that, yeah? And if you focus on any form of lack, whether that's financial or in love or in health, then that's what your brain will point out to you. The RAS works like a bouncer in a nightclub, only bringing to your consciousness things that you've focused on. So you won't even notice all the easy routes to get the money, get the love, etc. Yeah? And your DMN helps generate your sense of self and identity narrative. It shapes how your brain interprets and responds to experiences. So when you perceive yourself as not being as good as the next guy, you unconsciously show up in ways that reinforce that narrative. And they both fit into the natural laws of the universe, such as the law of attraction or the law of assumption, so perfectly that it's undeniable that we are part of the natural world and the creators of our experience of life. But to create a life that we really want, we need to write our own rule books of how our life is, yeah? We get to decide what experiences we have, and our human brains and God, source, the universe, whatever you want to call it, matches you in that decided state. So if we believe that we have to struggle, life makes that happen for you. But if we believe that it can be easy, well, life makes that true too. We learned the story of struggle so well, but now it's time to learn something new, right? So what beliefs are you going to rewrite so your beliefs serve the life you actually want instead of the life that you were told you could have? Now, if you want to carry on this conversation, I invite you to join me in my free school community. It's for high achievers and soul seekers like you who want to go deeply into the science of manifestation to live a life that really does feel as good as it looks. And if you missed it, I recommend clicking there to watch my last video on why high achievers find manifestation harder than most. I look forward to seeing you in my community, and if I don't, well, just know that you're ready, and this is where it begins. I'll see you next time. Bye.